Hi guys, it seems there are two things that Donald Trump likes doing: playing golf and talking tripe. So he spoke at the National Congressional Institute, where he rambled about taxes and tariffs, two things he doesn't seem to understand. He has heard of them, but doesn't seem to know how they operate. So as the president must come up with new policies as he dreams because they make as much sense, the function of this one appears to be to replace the current income tax system with, you guessed it, tariffs. But there are a few problems with that, as you can imagine.
America is going to be very rich again, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's time for the United States to return to the system that made us richer and more powerful than ever before. Do you know, the United States in 1870 to 1913, all tariffs, and that was the richest period in the history of the United States, relatively speaking. In other words, relatively. And they set up the Great Tariff Commission of 1887, and this commission had one function: what to do with all the money that we took in. It was so enormous that they had no idea. It was a blue ribbon committee. It was set up 1887, and what to do with all of the money that we had. And again, Teddy Roosevelt was a beneficiary, because when McKinley was killed, he took over this vast sum of money, and he did all of those national parks and all of the other things. And I'm not knocking him, but he was given a vast amount of money, and that was all made through tariffs. We had no income tax. The income tax came in 1913. As I said in my speech last week, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. Does that make sense, right?
No, it does not make sense. Jesus, it doesn't make sense. We have to explain once again. The importer pays the tariff, not the exporter. Donald Trump keeps pushing this idea that the people who will pay the tariff are the people outside the United States, the ones who are exporting their goods from their countries into the United States. It doesn't work like that. The people who pay the tariff are those who are importing in the United States in this case. And what do? They will pass that cost on to the consumer. Business have to either will take the hit or they will pass the cost on to the consumer. This is not about foreigners paying America. No, it doesn't work like that. Would somebody please explain this to Donald Trump? Now, I did a quick calculation in regards to this idea, this ridiculous idea of, okay, let's get rid of income tax and replace it with tariffs. But once again, remember, it would be American people who would be paying these tariffs, not foreigners. So you're moving taxes around in a sense. The income tax collected more or less last year was $2.5 trillion, not billion, $1 trillion, a huge amount of money. So in income tax alone. Now, if you were to just stay with tariffs in order to replace that and keep the tariffs as they are, you'd have to increase imports from $3.5 trillion to $73 trillion. Okay, so that's not going to happen. You'd have to massively import more goods, which of course would have its negative impacts on the US economy. You'd have to massively import goods. Or if you go down Trump's other road of let's just impose tariffs of 100% on all imports, then you would be able to cover the cost of the income tax replacement. So that would be about $2.5 trillion. That's if you impose a 100% tariff on all goods. Now, Trump isn't going down that road because that would be even insane for Trump. He's talking about 100% imports tariffs, on some goods, but not all goods. So he'd destroy his economy in order to replace income tax with tariffs. So please, will somebody in his administration or in the media explain to Donald Trump that tariffs are paid by the importer, not the exporter? If it's happening in the United States, it's businesses in America and consumers in America who are paying the tariff. Not China, not the EU, not the United Kingdom, not Colombia. The US importer is paying the tariff. So this is a ridiculous idea, but then we're talking about Donald Trump. So it's probable that it's going to be part of some manifesto or pledge in the future. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.